Hello everyone. In today's video, we shall be talking about a very famous playwright of English literature, one who is known for his oratorial skills and his love for music, one who gave the concept of drama of ideas and received the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1925. Yes, I am talking about George Bernard Shaw. So let's now begin. George Bernard Shaw was an Irish playwright who was born on 26th of July 1856 in Dublin, Ireland. Winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature, the highest literary award, Shaw's life and career was full of challenges. His father was an unsuccessful corn merchant and had a troubled relationship with his mother, who was a singer at concerts, a music teacher, and was the daughter of an Irish landowner. She later moved to London to live with Wendell Lee, a singing teacher, when Shaw was just 16 years old. The strange relationships of his parents and poor family conditions affected the psyche of the young child. Shaw went to London at the age of 20 in 1876 and didn't return to Ireland for 29 years. He died in 1850 at the age of 94 of renal failure by falling while pruning a tree. Shaw was a self educated man. His education was unconventional. Though he attended many schools in Dublin, he didn't attend any university. He used to spend many hours in British Museum reading room where he continued reading books on various subjects including literature, philosophy and science. Moreover, he inherited music from his mother, read Beethoven, who was a German composer and pianist, and Verdi, Italian composer, by the age of 15. The impact of music is also observed in the dialogues in his plays. Let's now talk about the literary influences on Shaw. He was highly influenced by William Shakespeare, Richard Wagner, and Henry Ibsen. Henry Ibsen, who is known as the father of modern realist drama. He was also influenced by socialist thinkers including Karl Marx and William Morris. Shaw's exposure to Marx's ideas shaped his perspectives on socialism and contributed to his involvement in socialist movements in England. One more important thing is that Shaw was a prominent member of the Fabian Society, which was a British socialist organization founded in 1884. The Fabian Society founded the London School of Economics in 1895, whose picture you can see on your screen, and it also founded the British Labour Party in 1900. As a Fabian, Shaw met Annie Besant, an ardent supporter of India's independence, and advocated for social justice, women emancipation, and nationalization of land rent. Now let's see George Bernard Shaw as a writer. Though he earned name and fame as a prolific writer and by the age of 20 decided to be a writer, his writing career was full of struggles and hardships. In London, he worked as music critic on an evening paper, The Star, and after a few years started writing periodicals under the name GBS and high quality essays also, which are still read and praised. As a novelist, he remained unsuccessful as he couldn't find any publisher for his first 5 novels that he wrote between 1879 to 1883. His semi-autobiographical novel Immaturity was rejected by the publishers along with other four novels. Moreover, he had to face financial difficulties, and initially he could only earn less than 10 shillings a year from his literary works. As a playwright, he earned name and fame after much struggle. His writing career spans for 60 years. Till the age of 91, he continued writing, and his plays are essentially intellectual as he uses them as a platform for exposing social ills prevalent in society. 1885, he started writing his first play, Widower's House, on the evils of London slums, but was able to complete it 7 years later, and in 1892 it was performed in London. Though his last play was Buoyant Billions, written in 1947, but the last important play is The Apple Cart, which is published in 1929. In total, Shah wrote 63 plays. Man and Superman, published in 1905, has been his first great play, and with Saint John, his fame rose multiple times, and by 1905 he became the most famous living playwright. He was conferred the Nobel Prize for Literature, the highest literary award, in 1925, and his legacy continues to inspire and influence artists and thinkers even today. The first two volumes of Shah's plays are divided in two categories, published under the title Plays Pleasant and Unpleasant in 1898. Shah chose this with a special purpose. Unpleasant, the name he gave because he wanted to bring out the unpleasant social conditions of society by making pleasant fun of them through his plays. This included Widower's House, The Philanderer, and Mrs. Warren's Profession. Thereafter, he wrote four plays which come under the category of pleasant plays and focused on social issues, the follies and evils of society in a light-hearted and humorous tone, making them more enjoyable. Arms and the Man is the first play in this category. Shah also wrote social comedies about real human problems, and he introduced the new element of debate by putting different problems of society on the stage. Widower's House is his play based on the evils of London slums and landlords. Similarly, Mr. Warren's Profession is written on the theme of prostitution, and The Devil's Disciple is about religious intolerance. Now let's have a look at Shaw's writing style. His style is characterized by irony, wit, humor, and satire. For instance, in Pygmalion, Shaw writes, and I quote, "It's impossible for an Englishman to open his mouth without making some other Englishman despise him." Unquote. Moreover, he used spaced letters for emphasizing words rather than using italics. Another feature of his style is that he doesn't print a list of characters at the front of his plays, though it was customary at that time. For example, in Arms and the Man, he uses the man for Bluntschli, the central character till the first act. It is only in Act 2, when Catherine reads aloud his name from the visiting card, then onwards Bluntschli is used. Another feature is stage direction forms the major part of his plays. Shah was the first to introduce detailed description of scene, furniture, stage properties, and characters in his plays. He believed that it helped the audience connect with actors as they were able to get a mental picture of the character by the given information. Further, Shah was instrumental in improving the printing of his plays. His work with the British Stage Guild or Stage Society, a theatrical organization in the UK, that aimed to promote and support the arts. Shah advocated for better typography, emphasized the importance of clear and legible fonts to make plays easier to read. And one more thing noteworthy is that he never changed his printers from 1903 up till his death in 1950 for 47 years, which is an indication of his fair dealing, honesty, and loyalty to those who did their work well. Let's now discuss about some varied aspects of Shah's personality. Shah inherited a love for music from his mother, in one sense, and he was influenced by Mozart also, the great 18th century Austrian composer, and he once said that it was Mozart who taught him how to write. Music helped him in his first regular position in London as music critic on the Star, an evening paper. Touch of music is also reflected in his sentence formation, which is rhythmical, pleasant to speak and hear. And this technique made even his long speeches easy and captivating. Another feature of his personality is that he became a vegetarian at the age of 25 under the influence of Shelley. He had a strong belief in the protection of animals also. If we talk about awards and recognition, Shah was awarded the highest literary award for literature, the Nobel Prize for Literature, but he gave the prize money for establishing Anglo-Swedish Literary Foundation for sponsoring and promoting the study of English language and literature in Sweden. Shah won an Oscar in 1939 for Best Writing Screenplay for his role in adapting his own play Pygmalion for the screen. Shah's thoughts are relevant for all times to come because he believed in long-lived Superman with experience and intelligence to govern the people. And further, he believed in the force of religion. Actually, the purity of living, the kindness and generosity was his religion. Last but not the least, Shah's contribution to English drama cannot be denied. He is a dramatist of ideas. The concept of drama is pioneered by him. He aspires to build a new society and a new social order. And he believes that drama should be a platform to discuss the contemporary issues, social, political, and modern philosophical issues, and he does it with a touch of irony and satire. He raises the serious issues and presents multiple perspectives so that audience may consider a variety of viewpoints and draw their own conclusions. Moreover, his comedies are called comedies with a purpose. For example, Arms and the Man deals with two opposite viewpoints on the same theme of war and love and brings out anti-romantic views on the both. Similarly, Man and Superman explores the complex themes of morality, hypocrisy, and the nature of human relationship in a philosophical manner. It is said that his plays make the audience laugh and think. He makes people think over various issues. He makes them laugh by presenting those issues in a humorous and satirical manner. So this was the unique style of George Bernard Shaw. Contrary to Charles Darwin's theory of evolution, he gave the concept of creative evolution and life force. He believed that one will survive by superior intelligence and willpower. And if this is passed on to our descendants, only then man can do what he desires. Further, Shah believed strongly in equality for a better society and human welfare because he believed that good laws don't make a good society. Rather, good men and women do make a happy society. People who are kind hearted, who are concerned, who empathize with others, have the power to bring a change in society. So, I hope that you have liked the video. and you will be benefited by it in one way or the other. So, thank you very much for watching this. Thank you again.